the seats are all empty. Let the roadies take the stage, pack it up and tear it down. They're the first to come and the last to leave, working for that minimum wage. They'll set it up in another town. Tonight the people were so fine, they waited there in line, and when they got up on their feet, he made the show. And that was sweet, but I can hear the sound of slamming doors and folding chairs, and that's a sound they'll never know. Roll them cases out and lift them amps, and haul them trusses down and get them up them ramps. 'Cause when it comes to moving me, you know you guys are the champs. But when that last guitar's been packed away, you know that I still wanna play. So just make sure you got it all set to go before you come from my piano. But the band's on the bus, and they're waiting to go. We gotta drive all night and do the show in Chicago or Detroit, I don't know. We do so many shows in a row, and these towns all look the same. We just pass the time in the hotel rooms and wander around backstage till those lights come up and we hear that crowd and we remember why we Western on the bus, R&B. We got disco and 8 tracks and cassettes in stereo, and we got rural scenes and magazines, and we got truckers on CB, and we got Richard Pryor on the video. Time to think of the ones we love while the miles roll away. The only time that seems too short is the time that we get to play. People, you got the power over what we do. You can sit there and wait, or you can pull us through. Come along, sing the song. You know that you can't go wrong. 'Cause when that morning sun comes beating down, you're gonna wake up in your town. But we'll be scheduled to appear 1,000 miles away from here.